The iconic AC-130 Ghost Rider packs a devastating punch on the battlefield, and a full-fidelity module of such magnitude would mark a new era of air-to-ground operations in DCS world. Ever since the C-130J Super Hercules was announced, the community has been begging for the gunship version. Could the dream of unleashing fire from above finally become a reality? Well, we're diving deep into the possibilities based on official information and discussions with ASC and Eagle Dynamics as we explore the features that could turn this dream into a future next full fidelity module. So stick around and let's uncover the secrets of the gunship. Only here at How I Play. This video is sponsored by Moza. Get their new force feedback lineup with our link in the video description. Hello virtual pilots, I'm Andre Celesti, and tonight we will discuss about a possible future module that many users out there would love to have in DCS. With the C-130J Super Hercules ready to perform on the virtual battlefield, the question continues to appear: why not make the AC-130? Well, it's obvious that even the airplane simulation company, the developer of the upcoming C-130J Super Hercules, knows about this and has some interesting views on a possible AC-130 somewhere in the future. I wouldn't do this video if they wouldn't have provided ample information on how things are and how the future would look when it comes to this type of modules in DCS. But you must know that currently, as of today, there is no intent or work being done for such a module. But what you're about to learn is important for your understanding on what drives the need for an AC-130 and how we could see it become a reality in the future. So yes, we all know by now that the C-130J Super Hercules is about to release in DCS, with logistics, precision drops, and all kinds of features that have been discussed in our previous videos. The Super Hercules was the developer's choice to be their first module for DCS, but then you may ask, why didn't they go for the AC-130 from the beginning? Well, in my talks with Goose from ASC, he mentioned that they started with the C-130 because they were moving from the free mod that already had a lot of success in DCS, with most users already having a blast with it, and the demand was there. So basically, that was the starting point in terms of subject matter. He says that logically, you can't make the MC-130 or even maybe the AC-130 without making the C-130. Get it?
Wait, what?
Never mind, I will explain. You see, the Lockheed AC-130 gunship is the heavily armed long-endurance ground attack variant of the C-130 Hercules. To recreate this beauty in DCS would require you already have the C-130 and its systems operational in DCS, plus a few more things in the core DCS systems. So, for that reason, it made sense to them to start with a baseline slick C-130J and then do the MC-130 after that. It's already impressive, and I can't wait to see it in the sim. They also considered that the current state of DCS supports gameplay around the C-130J and the MC variant. As much as the AC-130J Ghost Rider is obviously an amazing aircraft, there are some things they would need to figure out before they start working on such a project. It makes sense. Now, do we remember the statement they made when the C-130J was announced? I know I won't forget. They did say that if sales go well with the Super Hercules, they will think about the AC-130. From what I've learned in our discussions, they want to be sure it's economically smart to invest in the development of an entirely new module, or at least a heavily modified one. The other question is, would people even want to wrestle with the many crew tasks that need to be fulfilled to operate a gunship in DCS?
Are you kidding me? This is a no-brainer. Yes, they would. So just make it and stop hiding behind all kinds of fantasy.
Well, I gotta say, Petrovich, I kind of agree.
You see? Now, where is my Black Hawk, Edie?
I knew it. Okay, let's move on. Now, in regards of DCS, it's true that the AI needs a lot of work to fulfill the roles in a massive ground war environment where the C-130 gunship would operate. We know that things are improving in ground unit AI and it is making good progress, but the road is still quite long. Goose told me that he personally thinks that the arrival of the dynamic campaign will be a trigger for them to revisit the question of the AC-130 more seriously, and I have to agree with that. The last main consideration from Goose is how to do it. The AC-130 has some sensitive technology on board, much like the upcoming F-35.
Oh boy.
So ASC would probably need to have the discussion internally with ED on how to proceed in modeling it from open source videos and things, of which there are a lot on YouTube and the internet, but it's not going to be easy. The process of scoping and defining the aircraft systems, the huge number of tasks and roles needed to operate the AC-130 wouldn't even start until they have the confidence of the other conditions being in place. There is a lot to think about, and they aren't deciding anything just yet. Now, obviously, this is a very speculative subject, and there are plenty of elements that haven't even been discussed. But me and Goose had a friendly talk and shared a bit of his take on this, and gives us a window in what ASC may be thinking in regards of the AC-130J. Users will have to understand that when releasing a product, there are things that need to be cleared, potentially explored, and the time investment calculated in order to even consider such a project. So currently, the main focus of ASC remains to deliver the best C-130J Super Hercules at the imminent release. And then we can expect the MC-130 shortly after. And as always, we will be tagging along all the way until one day, maybe sooner rather than later, we will hear news about the AC-130 gunship in DCS world. But what do you think? Should ASC already consider to invest in such a project? Leave your comments down below. And with that being said, I thank you all for sticking around, and please, if you find yourself coming back to us for news and info about DCS and flight sims, press that subscribe button so it's easy to stay in touch, and it helps us a lot to build the channel up to 100k subscribers. Maybe share it with your friends and family and add some support where is needed. A big thank you to our Patreon members who support the channel with their donations, but also by testing the HIP Dynamic server in its current state and providing valuable feedback. As we recently added our YouTube membership program, Patreon HIP pilots and co-pilots as well as YouTube First Officer members can now enjoy our behind-the-scenes videos that are published every month on a private thread, as well as other perks. More information in the video description. And so, as always, I'm Andre Celesti, reminding you to fly safe, and I'll see you next time.